Thank you for joining our weekly SkySlope webinar. In today's webinar, I want to take a little bit deeper dive into DigiSign. So not everyone is necessarily using this right now, and I really want to showcase how incredibly easy DigiSign is to use. It's a very user-friendly interface, and that it also can be used in a mobile environment. So first, I just want to point out that there was and probably still is out floating around there, an iPhone app for SkySlope, but you no longer need to use the app, and in fact, I recommend that you do not, because SkySlope is a responsive website, meaning that it will work properly on mobile devices. So if you just go to the browser on your phone, your tablet, your whatever your mobile device is, and use your browser, whatever browser you like to use, and go to skyslope.com and log in that way, you will have the full functionality of SkySlope, including utilizing DigiSign. So when they had the app, and that was the only way people could use it mobilely, it did not include DigiSign. Now that people can use just the website on a browser on their mobile device, you do have DigiSign available to you. It's not always the easiest thing. All these electronic signature things are not necessarily the easiest thing to use when you're talking about a smaller phone, but they work really well on tablets, and it's just a handy thing where you can deal with a document that you need to go get a signature on while you're out and about. And that's the whole point of working in a mobile environment. You can take care of your to-do list before you come back to your office, so you don't have a long list of stuff to do once you are done with your appointments for the day. So I want to go ahead and take, again, a deeper dive into DigiSign. So I've logged into SkySlope here, and I can get to it several ways. So I do have, of course, there's the DigiSign icon right here. But one thing I wanted to point out is that you can send, not fax, but you can email any document to your working documents, which is this section right here, very simply by using your own, let me get rid of this little thing here, by using your SkySlope email. So if you click up at the top right at your name and you go to My Account, you have been assigned your own SkySlope email. So what this does for you, and now we've already talked about the emails that are particular to a listing or a transaction. This is just your general SkySlope email. Mine is Kristen Wheatley 1 at SkySlope, because there's another Kristen Wheatley. She's in Chicago. And that's an easy one for me to remember, but I put that into my contact database so that I also have it. If I had all of my docs and I didn't yet, it's a new listing, I don't have it assigned yet, but I just want to go ahead and I want to get these to myself in SkySlope, I can always email them to this email address, and they will end up in my working documents. So that's the important part that you need to know, where they go. They go into working documents. So we can start there. But if you ever need to get a document in there, you can do it that way. Say you're on the road and somebody emails you a form that your client is going to need to sign. This is why I wanted to show you this. You can simply, pull over, of course, park your car, forward that email with the attachment that they sent you to your SkySlope email address here, and that, because it's an attachment, that will pop it straight into your working docs. The cool part about that is once in working docs, if I skip over here to working documents, once it's in here and I go ahead and I click on the little checkbox next to that document somebody sent me, I can just click DigiSign and it will take me through the process. So this is a real time saver. Again, when you are out and about, you're in the throes of negotiating, someone has done a counter offer, you can not only, of course, you're going to email the counter offer to your client so they can open it as a PDF and read the full thing, but you're going to also copy in your SkySlope email address so that it goes straight into your working docs, and you'll see those are under the Personal Docs tab in Working Documents. And then you can access DigiSign. So it really makes it very, very fluid. It just makes the process so much easier. But to show you the ins and outs of exactly how to tag documents, we'll start back over here at the login. And I am going to go back to working docs, but I just wanted to kind of, review where that is. So I start over here, of course, at the home screen. I'm going to click on my working documents. And in this instance, I'm going to demonstrate, say I just did all my listing paperwork. Now, some people, let me get rid of that. Some people may take their laptop with them to a listing appointment. Some people may take their iPad, their tablet. You may choose to use paper. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I like to do things paperless, so that's where I would start. But either way, maybe you're done. You had your listing appointment. They did not yet sign with you. You left, and unfortunately, they did not yet sign with you, but then they call you and say, you know what, Kristen? Yeah, we're ready. Here's the price we want to list the house for. Please send us the docs. Let's just get this done. So I would have already, of course, created my listing documents within Zip Forms. I'm clicking on Working Documents here, and I'm going to click on my Zip Form Plus tab because I have that integration going. And the cool thing about this is that everything that's available to me in Zip Forms that I've done instantly is available to me here. So for this demo, I'm using 555 Test Street. I've got all of the docs that I've already typed up in Zip Forms for the listing. The potential client just called me and said, yes, we want to go ahead and we want to list with you. And now I need to send them the docs electronically. So all I need to do is click in the checkbox for each document. There we go. And this, of course, includes even our ABA disclosures. I've gone ahead and stuck those in there as well. And those are just PDFs. So you might remember that our affiliated business agreement and the mortgage marketing disclosure, those are PDFs that I can't necessarily yet fill out in Zip Form, but I can fill them out here in DigiSign, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm clicking off all the docs that I need to get signed by my potential seller client, and then I come up here and I just click on DigiSign, and it's going to pull them from here and bring them into DigiSign for me. And one of the things that DigiSign does, if this was a transaction and I was doing a document, so I needed to assign it to a particular property, I could do that. In my case, for the demo purpose here, this is a brand new listing, so it's not in SkySlope yet. So all I have to do is come up here and click on No Property, because there isn't a particular property within SkySlope that is associated with these documents that I'm going to get signed today. So I click on No Property. You can even use this for personal docs. Say there's an insurance doc that you need to sign and they're okay with electronic signatures. You could load that up and you would click that No Property button, and then you can get that electronically signed. You can sign it yourself and get it on its merry way. Now over on the left-hand side, it's going to show me the docs and give me a chance if I needed to upload one, say I forgot one, I could click the upload button. Over here on the right-hand side, it's showing me the docs that it's already uploaded. And you'll see this little hamburger, we call it. I can drag and drop and change the order of these if I want to. For my purposes here today, I think the order is just dandy, so I'm going to move forward and click the Next button. And now I need to choose the recipients. So of course, in a listing agreement, you do need to sign it. So your name will be on there. Go ahead and click the checkbox next to you. And then you do want to add your sellers, whomever needs to sign this document. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this email address here so that it is a real email address. And click for my seller. In this case, I have one seller, and it's going to show me over here who's signing. I do like to put myself first. You can change the order. Sometimes when you have a client, they both have email and you're sending it to them and you know that one checks their email more than the other. Maybe a good idea to put the primary person who checks their email more frequently first. And again, you can just drag and drop on the little hamburger icon here to change the order. You will see that there's a section here who only needs a copy of the signed doc. I could add somebody. I could go ahead and click New Recipient and add another person who's not going to sign but is going to get a copy. I don't recommend doing that. Some people have used that in other electronic signature programs to send a copy to the other agent. I really do not recommend that because I have seen that backfire. There was one case where a person, an agent that I know, she actually just tagged it wrong. She had used a template and they were doing the inspection contingency agreement via an electronic signature program. She set it up so that once it was signed by her client, it automatically went to the agent on the other side of the transaction. Unfortunately, she did not notice that the template she was using that automatically tagged the document on the inspection contingency agreement tagged all of the sections, including the one that says they are canceling the transaction and backing out. And her client signed it and it went to the other broker. Now, that was not her client's intention. So you can imagine the trouble that caused. Second reason I don't do that and don't have it automatically go to the other broker is that your client could, maybe they didn't read it thoroughly, or maybe they just did it and they go, oh shoot, you know, I kind of changed my mind. It gives you that one extra moment to make sure that you are fulfilling your client's intentions. So when I get a document back from my client, one of the first things I'm going to do is use their preferred method of contact. I usually text and say, I just got the signed document, thank you. Just wanted to double check, is it okay to go ahead and send this to the other broker? Just to make double sure. All right, so I've got my signers on here and I can see who they are, and then I'm just going to click the next button. And this is one of the reasons that I really like DigiSign as opposed to things like DocuSign or other electronic signature programs. I find the tagging to go a lot quicker. So all I need to do to tag this, I'm starting out with my exclusive right to sell listing agreement. I know that I need an initial at the bottom of that. I'm going to come up here and click the type that I need, in this case initials, and then just click here. Now you'll notice that I'm putting the type that I need, and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the initials there. But you'll see that right now it's telling me it's me that's signing. That's not who needs to sign this. So I can tag my document and just use this toggle switch to choose who is going to sign that document. So I'm going to put it over to Jane Doe. And instead of lining this line up with the bottom of the blue box, I'm lining it up with the letters that are there as an example, because that's where the true lineup will be. Now it's going to default to the last one I did. So I'm going to just keep scrolling. And I know I need an initial at the bottom. I said, this next page, I don't need an initial, I need the actual signature. So I'm going to click signature and then click in here. I wish they made these spaces bigger for signatures. We'll keep working on the real estate commission for those. I'm going to line that up. You see it defaults to the person I did last time. Now I need another signature, but I don't have to click anything at the top. I'm just going to come over here, but I do need to remember to change who's signing, because this is my spot here. So there we go. But I like how I can tag each page and just toggle on who is going to sign, rather than when I used to use DocuSign, you kind of had to choose the person first and then do all the tags and then come back up to the top and choose the next person and do all of the tags. It made it kind of easy to forget somebody and to forget a tag. So I don't like doing that. All right, so I'm going to keep scrolling through here. I've got all of those pages done. Now I've got my Form 3 because I'm in Maine here. In this case, I just personally need an initial, and I'm going to put that initial there. And of course, I need the initial for my client and not for myself. So I just quickly change that. You can apply signature templates, but I think the tagging goes by so fast, I don't see a reason to do that. And again, sometimes those templates might be inaccurate. They might apply something inaccurately. So again, seller's initials. So I'm going to click on initials, click right here, and I'm lining it up with the words that are there, just double checking, yes, I want Jane to initial that one. Going down to the next one, need the seller initials, and you see how I can go ahead and move it. If I put an extra one, I could click this red X and make it go away. If you are having them initial a change and you need to change the size of this box to maybe squish it over here somewhere in the margins, that's what this little triangle in the corner is for. You can squeeze that down and make it smaller. I'm going to keep going here. The last page, I'm going to go ahead and get my seller to sign their disclosure. Now you see how I accidentally put an initial here. I can just use the red X and get rid of that. And now I would like to get my seller's signature here. I think it always shows a little more confidence when the seller will sign. I know that they're not necessarily required to sign, and some things like banks are probably not going to, But in general, for your regular listing clients, I think it's a very good idea to get them to sign. Here is our affiliated business agreement. Now, here's the thing I wanted to show you. Now, I still only need signatures on here, but let's say I wanted to put the person's name on here, or there was another field that I needed to fill out. I could always use this writable field. I could make it myself. And there's a full name field. So let's see, I can choose full name, put that over here, and I can put the name there and do the signature here. And of course, there is a date signed field as well. And I just want to make sure I've got the right person in there. And same thing with the mortgage disclosure. But let's pretend that there was something that I needed to write on a form. Maybe I needed to fill in the price, that we had left that off of zip forms. I can click writable field, line it up where I need it to be. You could even do this for a counteroffer, make it as big as you need to. If I was going to use a writable field, and again, you would not do that on this mortgage disclosure, but I'm using this as an example. I would make it myself, and then I can type whatever I need in there. So this can be kind of handy if you're on the road and you need to do a counteroffer. In the counteroffer section of the purchase and sale agreement, you can use a writable field like this, make it nice and big so you can fit everything in there. Make it you so that you can type up the terms of the counteroffer and then tag the regular counteroffer section for your, in that case, it would be your buyers or sellers, depending, for their signature. So it's kind of a handy thing to do. And then, of course, I'm going to continue with this one, though, and just go ahead and tag for the client so that they have read the disclosure, use the date sign. But you see how quickly these things go. You know, DigiSign is really, really quick to use. And once I have everything tagged the way that I want it, I do highly recommend looking at it one more time. Scroll up to the top and just double check to make sure you have everything tagged the way that you need it to be. And then all you have to do is come up here to the send button at the top right, click on that, and you get to give it a subject line. So I would say, you know, listing documents for your signature. And go ahead and leave them a message here as well in the body of the email. Now, just because we're using an electronic signature program does not mean that this replaces talking to your client about what they are ready to sign. So whenever you use an electronic signature program like DigiSign, you should have already had that conversation with your client so that they're very, very clear on what they're signing. Many times when it's an offer situation, I will, if we're not getting together personally, if that's not possible, say they're down in Florida, I will email them the PDF to start with so that they can really open it, and we'll go over it on the phone, looking at each page so they truly understand it, and then I will put it in DigiSign and send it to them for signature. So don't skip that process. It can be a little bit difficult for your clients to read the document within the signature process because they may even be on their phone and it's kind of small then, and it's a little bit hard for them to read. So make sure that you've already gone over what they're going to sign. And if you haven't already done so, I need you to do a setup one here after we're done today and send it to yourself so that you can see what that email looks like, because I want you to be able to describe the process to your clients. I get pushback here in Maine. Sometimes people in certain areas will say, well, my clients, they don't use email. They don't want to do that electronic signature thing. And I say, you know, usually when I've really had meetings with the people who are very, very resistant to it, come to find out it's the agent who's uncomfortable with it. And so they're kind of poo-pooing it to their clients, which of course then your clients are going to say, oh yeah, no, I don't like that. Most clients nowadays do want to use it, especially if they are out and about, you've brought them an offer, they can't find a way to get to you. They just want to talk about it over the phone, understand what the offer is, and get it signed. So in our tight market, you really need to master the digital signature process. So practice this. So again, in the message, I would probably say something to the effect of, you know, here's the listing agreement that we talked about. Please do let me know if you have any questions, or give me a call if you'd like me to walk you through the process. And then I would send it on its merry way. Now, because I am a signatory on this as well, it's going to say, yes, that's great. Do you want to sign it now for my portion? And I always say yes to that. I always want to get that done. When your clients click on the email to start the signature process, this is what they're going to see. They're going to choose a signature. So they can also edit their name if they need to change the spelling or need to add something. Maybe their legal name has an initial in it, or they sign a certain way. And then they get to pick the font that they want to use, and they do have to click I agree to the process. And once they've done that and picked their signature, and this is what you can kind of tell them ahead of time, then all they need to do is click the start button. It will take them to the first signature, and they click on the blue box and it will pop their signature or initial in there. Now in my case, I only had one, so it says that I'm done, and I'm going to click submit. But you see how quick and easy that process is. I need you to send one to yourself so that you can go to the email, click on the email, see what it looks like, go through the process so that you will be able to explain that process to your clients. Now, the neat thing about this is once this is completed, now it's going to go out for review to the client. I'm actually going to pop over to the email that I sent it. That is my email that I use for all those emails I don't want to receive. I send them to that particular email address. I have no idea what else is going to be in there this morning, but let's go find the email because I want to show you what happens to that document when it's done. So let me go ahead and get in here, and we should have the DigiSign email in here. There it is, listing documents for your signature. And you see what this looks like. It's branded to us, and it's just a big review and sign button. So that's why I want you to do it as well, because you can say, you'll get the email, it'll say documents for you to sign, just click on the big blue review and sign button, and it'll open up the process for you. And you'll see, just like we did before, I'll pick one for Jane Doe here, I'll click I agree. So you want to know those steps so you can walk them through it. I'm going to click start. And in this case, there's more. So I'm going to click on the initial here and the signature here. And it's actually doing a little bit lower than I had intended it to. Initial here. And I'm just going to go through each of these. And you see it fast forwards to the next one once I am done. I didn't put the date on that one. And then complete signing, and I click submit. Now here's kind of the neat thing, as opposed to when I used to use DocuSign, and there's a couple of other e-signature programs, when your client was done signing, it kind of opened up a screen and made them believe they had to sign up for an account, so they got a little confused. DigiSign does not do that to them. It's more straightforward than that, and all they have to do, it'll have the actual document right here for them that they can download. So they can download the document right from here. I still usually take the extra step of emailing them the document anyway, because I like to have the email for my own records that shows that I sent it to them. But this satisfies the requirement of them getting a copy at the time of signature. And if I pop back over here to this email, right here, it'll say sign, so they're going to automatically get an email that says, congratulations, you've successfully completed signing. View now, and they can go ahead and they can open it up and they can download it. So they get one automatically. The only reason that I do it is just, it's kind of redundant, but I like to have that, that proof that I've had them sign it. So that's the basics. And the neat thing is when these things come back for a signature here, if I go back to working documents, that's where it will be. So you see right here that the packet that I sent for them to sign, it says right here, July 10th, has come right back into my working documents. The reason this is so handy is, again, you don't have to download it, save it to your computer, and then now that you've got your listing docs and you're ready to put this into SkySlope and then upload it. Instead of that, I would be able, now that I've got my whole listing packet here, I would go ahead and I would go back and click on, I think you have a create listing button. I have a manage listing button. I would start and I would create my listing, add everything that I need to add for it. And once I have done that, then I can just go grab this whole packet that I had them sign and I can assign it to that listing. And that's right here. So I'm just going to click next to the whole packet that I did, and I'm going to click assign. Now, mine's going to show every single thing in the system, but you would be able to just see the things that you had added. So you would see your own listings here. Okay, I think I deleted my regular ones, but you would just go to your listing, and it would pop up, and I would choose the assign button for the correct listing, and it's going to take those docs that are already signed and put them in the documents tab of the listing you just entered. So it's a lot smoother. It just works really, really well. All right, and that is really what I want. I just wanted to take a little bit deeper dive into DigiSign to show you the ins and outs of that and how it can make it more fluid. And again, you know, this DigiSign is not just for people who are going paperless. It is super handy when you have something and you just can't get together with your client, or they can't get together with you, or they're out of town and they need to sign something. You can use it for just one document, or you can use it for the whole packet. I tend to do it for listing agreements. I have an iPad Pro, so it's got a nice large screen. I'll have it up there. I'm meeting with them in person, and I go ahead and I've got it all tagged ahead of time, and I click the button to send it to them. People always have their phones with them, so they're sitting there at the table with me. They open up their phone, they get the email, click, 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 they sign it. I really like doing it that way, not only because I like to be paperless, but because it also demonstrates with them right in front of me how easy that process is. And I'll tell them at the listing appointment. So the reason I like to do it this way is because now you know how easy that is, so that when we get an offer and we need to, you need to pick, we can talk on the phone, say you guys are up to camp and can't come into the office, I can't get to you. You can sign your offer after we talk about it right there on your phone. So it's a live demonstration to your client as to how easy that is to do. All right, so that is really the feature that I wanted to show you today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions. So I will hang out here for a few more moments in case anybody does have any questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate it. I hope this makes it a little bit clearer at how easy it is to use DigiSign, how quick and easy this product is for us. And don't forget that you can use this in a mobile environment. Just don't bother with the SkySlope app. You can go ahead and delete the app from your phone. Instead, in a mobile environment, use your browser, whether it's Safari, Chrome, whatever browser you use on your phone. Open up a browser on your phone, type in skyslope.com and use that. All right, so it doesn't seem like we have any questions today. Again, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to check out the training email that went out last night. That does have the recording of how to save at least 2 hours a week using all the features of SkySlope. So even if you have admin support entering your SkySlope docs for you, I hope to show you that it's actually quicker to do it yourself. But even if you're still doing that, I really would love for you to go ahead and view that video class and check out the other features, because even if you're having admin support enter your SkySlope stuff, using the rest of the features of SkySlope will still save you tons of time. And again, we don't want you doing admin functions. We want you to be able to spend your time on money-making activities, helping people buy and sell, not on admin activities. And fully utilizing SkySlope can go a long way to getting you there. All right, thank you guys very much. I'm going to sign off for today.